There is a belief most men carry into relationships that being available, responsive, accommodating, always there, is what makes a woman stay. It is really not. In fact, it is often the thing that makes her leave, or maybe stay but stop respecting you. Here is why. The problem is not availability itself or the signals of it. The issue is what constant availability communicates beneath the surface. When a man is always reachable, always adjusting, always making himself fit around a woman's schedule and moods, before she has earned that level of priority, it signals something. It signals that he has nothing more pressing going on, that she is the center of a world that should, at this stage, still be centered on him. Women do not lose respect for a man because he is considerate. They lose respect because he has no weight to him. There is nothing pulling on him from the other direction. Respect is built on perceived value. This is not a theory. It is a consistent pattern in human psychology. People assign more value to things that are not immediately and freely available. That principle does not disappear in relationships. When a man responds to every message within seconds, cancels his plans without hesitation, and reorganizes his life around a woman who is still deciding how she feels about him, she begins to perceive him differently. Not consciously, not deliberately. The shift happens automatically underneath the surface of whatever she is saying to him. It is not a character judgment. It is a value calculation her mind is running without her permission. And the result of that calculation is the same almost every time. There is a difference between being present and being without limits. This is the part that gets misunderstood. The men that women respect are not cold or withholding. They are not distant or unavailable. They are present when they need to be. But they also have a life that exists independently of the relationship. Work that matters to them. Standards they do not abandon. Friendships that do not disappear the moment a woman enters the picture. A sense of direction that was there before she arrived and will be there regardless of what she decides. Over-availability is the absence of those things, not the evidence of love. A man can be warm, attentive, and consistent without organizing his entire existence around one person's comfort. When a man is always available, something specific happens inside that relationship. She stops having to think about him, and yes, that happens. Not because she does not care, but because there is nothing left to wonder about. A lot just disappears. The relationship loses a particular kind of tension, not conflict, not distance, but the natural tension that exists between two separate people who are choosing each other. When everything is offered freely and immediately, like time, attention, emotional access, then there is nothing left to move forward to. Desire can be in any form, and it requires some degree of space between the wanting and the having part. So if you remove that space entirely, and what is left is comfort at its best. Familiarity without the pull. This is not an argument for playing games. The solution is not to distance or ignore her on a schedule. The difference between a man who is genuinely engaged in his own life and a man who is following a strategy is something women recognize quickly. They may not be able to name it immediately, but they feel it. The real shift is not behavioral, it is internal. A man who is difficult to reach because he is building something, a career, a skill, a standard for his own life, carries a different quality than a man who is simply pretending to be busy. One is attractive because it is real, the other is transparent because it is not. When respect erodes, it rarely announces itself. She does not sit down and name it. There is no conversation where she says something has shifted in how I see you. It shows up in smaller ways, in how she speaks to him, whether she values his input or dismisses it, whether she sees him as someone to lean on or someone to manage, whether she is drawn toward him or simply used to him. The shift is gradual, and by the time most men recognize that something has changed, it has already been changing for a long time. The distance that feels sudden is almost never sudden. The men that women respect are not the ones who gave the most easily. They are the ones who had the most happening inside themselves. Availability without substance is just presence, and presence without weight does not hold anyone's attention for long. A man who is full, who has direction, standards, things he is working toward, does not need to calculate how available to be. The balance exists naturally, because his life already occupies the space that over-availability would have filled. That is the difference. and it is not a small one. Ginny here. I hope this gave you something to think about, and if this gave you value, hit the like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to the Ginny Standards for more honest conversations about love, standards, and the psychology behind it. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.